Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey. And Jim, something I've realized in my own personal growth and my development is just the importance of learning how to sell. I remember a mentor in my life probably 5 or 6 years ago said, "You're ticking all the right boxes in business, but I just think you're going to have a hard season until you really learn how to sell."
Right.
I was really good when I sat down with somebody face to face, but I was nervous to make that first phone call or make that initial connection or follow up. Once I got sitting down, I was really good at selling. But it was that initial, for me, and this might be different for somebody else, but for me, it was hard to make that first step in that introduction. Yeah. And until I had that 6 months to a year of really forcing myself to learn how to sell, things were hard. And things got better as I got better, as we always talk about. But I really believe that whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a salesperson, I think everyone should learn sales. I want to know what Jim has to say about that. I just think there's such an important piece to it.
Yeah. So for us at the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, selling is really a huge deal. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that we understand what selling is. Mm-hmm. I think that's really important. Mm-hmm. As an individual, that we understand what it means to sell.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start off with this. Selling is nothing more than a transfer of enthusiasm.
Right.
And so enthusiasm, the true meaning of the word, means having the Spirit of God inside of you. Mm-hmm. It's a spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's inside of me. And to make an analogy about that, if you ask me for a glass of water,
yep,
and I have 2 glasses, one is filled with water, the other one is empty. And you say, "Jim, I'd like to have a glass of water." And I hand you the empty glass. How does that serve you?
That's not helpful at all.
I can't give you something that I don't have. See the analogy? Mm-hmm. So here's the glass, but there's nothing in it. Now we pivot. I'm going to give you the one with water in it.
Yeah.
Now I've served a purpose. So I can't give away something I don't have. So in order to sell, we have to understand that the enthusiasm starts with us. Mm-hmm. And so I take this enthusiasm inside of myself and I transfer it to the client. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
So in order to do that, would it make sense that I figure out what it is that gets the client excited? That gets the client enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Would that be important?
You always say, love the team, love the customer. You got to know what they love and you have to take care of them well.
Absolutely. So my method of selling is to ask some questions. And so I don't care what I'm selling. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Okay. In this process that we call running shoes, what is most important to you? Well, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm someone with flat feet, which is unfortunate. So I need something that's breathable, right? And I need something that is pretty durable, right? I don't want to buy a pair of shoes again in 6 months if they're running shoes, right? I want them to be durable and withstand the elements because here in Pennsylvania, it's rainy, it's snowy, it's sunny. So I want those 3 things. Good support. I want the ability to be durable and obviously breathable.
Yeah. And so tell me about your running experience. Please explain it to me. Do you run every day, first of all?
I don't always run every day just because it's hard on my ankles and knees. So I much more do stretching. I'll do core exercises, but I like to make sure that I'm running a couple of times a week. So if I had normal arches, I imagine I would run more, but I try not to put as much hard stomping weight.
Okay. And if you run too much, you develop knee soreness and ankle.
Yeah, right.
And just as a thought, if we had a shoe that I could talk to my experts on this idea.
Yep.
If we had a shoe that gave you a better ability to withstand running, would that interest you?
Oh, yeah, because then I would do it more often, right?
So maybe you could run 3 times a week
right, yeah.
if the knees didn't get as sore. Mm-hmm. And it is possible with the engineering today that we have a shoe that would take away the pressure on the knees and the ankles.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be an idea that automatically comes to my mind. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you mentioned about so you need a really healthy, strong arch support in this shoe.
Yep.
Okay. And that's because of the flat feet. And now when you run, are you doing road running? Are you running in the woods? How are you running?
So a couple of different ways. Sometimes if it's too cold, I'll do some running indoors, just more like high intensity interval, like jumping and stuff like that, right?
That's not really
Jumps and-
running, though.
Yeah, I guess that's more like
Yeah, no, it's
yeah,
tough, though. I mean,
right. It's
rebounding would be
yeah.
one.
Other times I'll run outdoors.
But when you do run outdoors, tell me exactly where you ran.
So often I'll run around the neighborhood just because it's quick and I can do it in 5 or 10 minutes.
So
right?
you
And
come out of your
so-
house and you
Yeah,
make a
I'm
left
just-
or a right.
Yeah. I'll make a left. I'll go up the sidewalk around the neighborhood. We have one of those circle, right? There's not a lot of traffic circles around. We have one of the few in, gosh, I don't know how many miles, but it's neat because
You
there's a
mean
bunch
like a
of
turnabout,
homes.
you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll run around that turnabout, right? And then I can loop right back over. So
And
it
how
takes
far
about
is that
5 or 10
typically?
minutes. I'd say maybe 3/4 of a mile.
Okay. And so do you have any ambition of being able to run further than that? Is that a thought?
Yeah. If I feel like I could, as the weather gets warmer and as I can run outside more, if I feel like I had the equipment to do it well, I'd probably do it more.
Okay, so this is my final question. Actually, 2 questions. Why is running so important to you?
That's a really good question. I've never thought about it from that sake. I think, I know exactly why. Because my kids want to play with me as a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a coming up on 2. And I want to, my son loves to race. We have this big parking lot near our house because there's a church and they have like this church parking lot. And so a couple houses down, it's a pretty decent size, probably the size of 2 or 3 houses. It's just empty because other than Sundays, there's not a lot of people in that parking lot. There's not a lot of cars. And so the kids will ride their bikes there. And sometimes my son will say, let's race from this side of
That's
the
so
parking
cool.
lot to the other side. And we'll get our daughter involved and we'll all race. Or sometimes I'll push our baby in the stroller. My son races me and he'll race me and I'll try to beat him with the stroller, right? But if I can't do that, if I'm tired after he wants to go 10, 15
Or if your
go
ankles hurt.
rounds, if I go once or twice, like I did, let's say 5 years ago, that sucks. I don't want to do that.
Okay, 2 sentences. Why does that matter?
Because as a dad, I want to be present. I don't want to be the parent that I just remember growing up. We'd go to amusement parks like Kennywood or Idlewild. And sometimes some of the older people, not necessarily my parents, maybe my grandparents, they would just sit because they didn't want to do some of the pieces that we could do. And I want to be active. I don't want to go on a family vacation when my kids are 15 and be in my 40s and be like, oh, sorry, I'm going to sit on the couch while you
I
guys
got a
can
bad knee
go
today.
enjoy
My
the
ankles hurt.
yeah. And maybe what can I do to improve that, right? I want to be active. I see you living that out and I realize that I'm not getting younger. And so I want to take care of myself. And I'm sure I won't do it perfectly, but I think similarly to you in the sense of what can I do to continue to improve? And
I have an idea in mind.
uh-huh.
And as we talk about shoes, and I've done a lot of studying on shoes.
Yeah.
And as I think I was a runner in college and ran a lot throughout my life. And now I'm doing this job where I'm providing folks with the right shoes for their
Right.
purposes. And
Yep.
so I've asked you a lot of questions. I apologize for that, but I have an idea for you.
Okay.
And if I can show you a shoe that's going to do what you want it to do based on what you've told me,
Right.
would you be interested in purchasing that shoe?
Yeah, I would. Because I've done a lot of research myself into like how can I strengthen my feet? There's different feet exercises that I'm trying to do
Right.
to try to make sure I'm not just letting the shoe do all the work. But if there's something that would position me well alongside the other exercises I'm doing, I would definitely.
How about if I make a deal with you? How about if I get this pair of shoes that I want you to try on, and I'm actually going to make you run. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to put these shoes on. I'm going to make you run. And I'm also going to get you a list of exercises to help you strengthen your feet and your calf muscles and your
Yeah.
knees and all that. Does that interest you?
Absolutely.
Would you mind if I excuse myself and go get those shoes?
Absolutely.
Okay. We have your size.
Yeah. 10, 10 and a half.
10. What do you prefer, 10 or 10 and a half? Or should I get both?
Yeah. Just get both.
Okay, I'll bring you both. We'll try them on, see what works, and then we're going to run.
All right.
Fair enough?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it. That
You're
was good.
toast, man. You're toast. Just find out. The idea behind selling, it is a transfer of enthusiasm. You can't sell from an empty glass. So you got to figure out what it is that they want,
Yeah.
why they want it. Does it make them emotional? We got to get that chill going up and down their spines.
Yeah.
If you notice, I walked Derek through the parking lot and the roundabout. And I made him draw pictures in his mind about what that represents. And it gets him emotional. So we sell from a perspective of emotion. And Derek's going to buy a pair of shoes for me today.
Yeah. You compelled me. I was like, man, I need a shoe like that. Yeah.
Does
And I
that
mean,
answer your question?
yeah, it definitely does. And I can hear just the passion of you just connecting with someone else's story, right? You're making it not about you. We talk about this a lot in just marketing and connecting people's stories, right? One of the things in my business, Clear Sound Consulting, is we want to help you connect with your audience so your business can grow. People are like, where's the connection there? It's connecting with people. And that's what you did so well. And that example we were running through is like you connected with my story.
I know your story now.
Yeah.
So now I can get enthusiastic and transfer my enthusiasm for your story into you. So let's go back to cars. When you look at a car, what is the most important attribute to you of a car?
Safety, without question.
Safety. And beyond the obvious answer, why is safety so important to Derek Kelly?
Because I have 3 little kids. And, you know,
their names are?
Josiah is 7, Mirabelle is 5, and Ariel is 21 months.
Wow,
So
that's
thanks.
great.
Yeah.
So you're 3 children.
Yep.
And you're concerned about their safety.
Yeah, because if it's not the most comfortable car, okay, so what? But if it's not safe, one car accident, and, you know, we're having big problems.
Okay. And if I can show you a car that has the safety features that match up with your 3 children, would you be interested?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go do it. Let's go look at this. I have one in mind.
Yeah. And then you could show me the safety ratings and the crash test and all that kind of data.
I have 4 children as well. And I have 9 grandchildren.
Yeah.
And safety is very important to me. So we're compadres.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to drive a car that's not safe. We need the ability to put a car seat in and have it anchored properly.
Yeah.
We need to have the seat belts that are proper, the airbags in the right place at the right time. And we need a vehicle that drives the right way so that it doesn't roll over, that brakes properly. Yeah, and a braking system is a safety feature.
Right.
It's a very important safety feature. So there's a lot of safety features that I'm interested in because of reasons why other than Jim Shorkey. And I think you and I have that in common.
Yeah, that makes a lot
So
of
we
sense.
should really be able to hammer this one out per se.
Yeah. I feel like you're really connecting with me right now instead of just, oh, we have this great car. You should check it out.
Yeah.
You're much more connecting
Absolutely.
with what I need.
I have to. That's this. Again, if you understand that selling is a transfer of enthusiasm, then write that down. And then understand that you can't give water from an empty glass. So you fill that glass up with the person's wants and needs.
Yeah.
And most importantly, their reasons why.
Yeah.
And if we can get them to tell us their reasons why, they won't be able to remain unemotional. They can't do it. When you talk about, you said Josiah is how you say it, correct?
Josiah,
when you talk about Josiah, what happens in your body?
I get excited. I have 2 daughters, but he's my only son. He's
And
my
how old
boy,
is Josiah again?
right? He's 7.
7. So you have a very clear image of Josiah in your brain right now.
Yeah.
And if something would happen to him, how does that feel?
Devastating.
What just happened?
Got me emotional.
Me too. I've experienced it. My sister, Kathy, and Dave, who's like a brother to me, Dave and Kathy Ash, their daughter, who just the loveliest girl you ever want to meet. You met her post-mortem.
Yeah.
But she was killed in a tragic boating accident, and it still gets me very emotional.
Yeah.
And boy, you wonder, was there something I could have done to prevent that?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to talk about today with our clients. What can we do to prevent that?
Yeah.
So Dave and Kathy, to their credit, they've got this massive undertaking called Inspired by Hannah. And part of that is really empowering young women, and that's the big part of this thing. But another component of it is this boating safety.
Boat safety.
And they are really serious. You know, it's before you ride, check the tide, right?
Yep, such a great slogan.
Before you ride, check the tide.
Because it's honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't do that.
Right.
And it's very emotional.
Yeah.
Let's do what we can to figure out what those reasons why are. Are you listening to me, car salesman? Let's put the hammer away. Let's get into emotion.
Yeah.
And let's find out what the client wants. And it should hopefully be a list of 4, 5, maybe even 10 items of things that they want and the ideas that they want. And then let's isolate what their reasons why are. And then we can sell from that blueprint. So when Derek is going to say to me right now, Jim, I love the car, but the price is too high. Say it.
Jim, I love this vehicle. The price is just too high for us.
Derek, in order to get all the safety features that you want to protect your children, it is going to cost you more money than what you want.
Yeah.
Is it really worth it to you to try to save money by compromising on those safety features.
It's not worth it. No.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. I think
Is
so.
there anything lacking in this vehicle?
No.
Is there anything that you're concerned about as far as the quality of this vehicle?
No, you showed me all the data, all the specs.
Derek, what do you think we should do right
Let me talk to my wife, make sure it's good with her. But yeah, I think we should get this vehicle, pull it down here. Let me take one more drive around and
Let me step out of the room. I want you to call your wife.
Okay.
Will you do that for me?
yeah.
Okay. I'll wait till you beckon me.
Okay.
Okay. And when I come back, I'm expecting an answer
All right.
because I think I've done my part. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Is there anything I left off?
No, unless she has some question that I'm unaware of.
Then you'll call me back in and we'll answer that question. Your wife has to be satisfied as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to step out. Call me when you're ready. Okay. Call me.
Back in. She did mention something I thought of. She said, with my eyesight, I was barely, I had to go to court to basically be approved to drive. And so she had mentioned that it might be good to have a backup camera and maybe even a front camera to help me park. Sometimes there's a slight distance that I can't necessarily see in small distances, just to avoid little fender benders.
Okay.
It may be good to have some cameras in there that could help with safety.
Okay.
So-
And I think your wife is correct. I think it's 100% on the money.
Yeah.
And guess what? Congratulations. Because we have the backup camera in this car. We just didn't talk about it. So
Yeah.
we have the backup camera. We have all kinds of alarms that go off when you're
Yeah.
ready to hit a telephone pole. So
Yeah, it's important to me.
call your wife and have what she wants.
Yeah.
Do we have a deal?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. That's good. I felt connected.
Yeah. Yeah. But we figured out when you're an entrepreneur, you entrepreneurs out there, and really as salespeople, we really are entrepreneurs,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We're running our own little business here. If you want to figure out if there's a need, and once you figure out if there's a need, then you need to figure out a way to satisfy that need in the most efficient manner possible. An example would be, there's a hole in your backyard, and you're out walking, you fall in a hole. The kid's fall in a hole. Dog falls in a hole. It's like, this hole's a pain in the neck. I had to be walking
Sounds
by,
like
see the hole. I say, hey, Derek, man, I noticed you have that hole in the yard. Why do you have that hole? Would you like me to take care of that for you?
Yeah, I just don't have time to fill it. I have 3 kids.
I can do
I have
that.
my own business. I just got a lot going on.
I can fill that hole in and tamp it down,
Yep.
and then I can plant some grass seed
Great.
and get it all watered and everything, get some grass on that thing, and there won't be any hole anymore. And I can do that.
Yeah.
And my cost to you would be $250 for everything.
Seems a little high.
Good quality is a little high.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Okay.
The good
Yeah.
quality is a little high. Do you want the good job or the bad job? I can do the bad job for a lot cheaper if you want that.
And what would that look like?
Am I allowed to use foul language?
Sure.
It's going to look shitty. So I can do shitty for 100.
Right. I value quality, Jim. I've always found that we use a lot of technology and tools in our business. If I buy a piece of software or a computer that is quality, it'll last me a lot longer. It costs more.
Yeah.
But-
so tell me what happens when you have bought low quality.
Stuff breaks. Like, we've bought really nice tripods and things for cameras like you're seeing here that are really nice, high quality. The other stuff, nothing wrong with Amazon, but you just buy it cheap off Amazon and it loses knobs and it loses things and you're afraid it's going to fall and stuff.
Doesn't work,
like
so
that.
job isn't so good. Then you got to replace it.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about it, but my experience is low quality
Yes.
costs twice as much as high quality.
Yeah, I agree.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I agree.
Low quality. Now listen to what I'm saying. So the low quality job, the shitty job, excuse my French, is $100. The good one, what did I say? I don't tell you.
$250, yep.
$250. So the good one's $250. But guess what? If it's a low quality job,
Right.
is there a possibility that I got to do it over again?
Yeah.
What's that going to cost me? Maybe I got to do it myself. Oh my God, I'm not with clients. I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing,
Right,
filling
yeah.
in this hole, making it right.
Yeah.
So my opinion, and I'm just a dumb old car salesman, worn out old car salesman. I
Right.
say this whole thing. My opinion is low quality costs twice as much as high
Yeah.
quality.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen that to be true because sometimes people will spend time on things where you could be selling 2 more cars a month and you could pay somebody to do that thing. That doesn't always have to be true.
Can I
But
check
it's
my
like-
phone real quick? Just give me a second.
Sure.
Okay, you're in luck. Monday, the 15th, is tax day. I have nothing scheduled.
Uh-huh.
Would you want me to do this in the morning or in the afternoon?
Let's do it in the morning.
Okay, what time works for you?
I'm an early guy, maybe 9 a.m.
9 a.m. The only thing I need from you today is I need half payment up front so I can buy the supplies. I got to buy the dirt. So I would need a check from you for $125 and then another $125 when the job's complete.
Absolutely.
That work for
that
you?
sounds fair.
Why don't you go get that check written out and I'll put you in the calendar for, you did say 9 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Boom. Good.
Yep.
We're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ran into a wrecking machine today, brother.
I know. So why should, not everyone, but why should people learn sales? I think it's so valuable. I've seen so much good fruit in my life, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether some people have retail stores, some people do sell cars, some people sell real estate, right? There's so many different places that I see people selling, and it's just such an important.
Okay. So if I was a lawyer, would I have to learn sales, do you think?
I know an attorney who runs his own practice, and I imagine he has to sell people on his services because they're not cheap. It's a couple $100 an hour.
So that would be an example. I'm a doctor. Should I be a good salesman? This procedure costs $1,000. A lot of money.
Yeah.
And I understand sales. I'm a doctor, but I learned sales. So, Derek, the procedure that we need to do to correct this vision shortfall, unfortunately, is not covered by your insurance.
It's not surprising, but yes.
So it's going to cost you $1,000.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. That doesn't sound crazy high for a procedure.
It's going to cost you $10,000.
Okay. That sounds.
It's going to cost you $10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. When would you like to start the procedure?
Jim, 10,000, man. I don't know. That just feels like I have several thousand saved, maybe 6, but
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going to get the rest of the 10.
Derek, if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way. I know you will. But what do you think the bill's going to be if you don't do the procedure?
I could, if I don't have the right equipment on my car, I could bump somebody, cause a fender bender, $1,000.
You're not answering my question. So if we don't do this procedure,
Yeah.
if we do the procedure, it's 10 grand. Simple, easy peasy, 10. If we don't do the procedure, how much is it going to cost you?
I truly don't know. Possibly more.
Give me a number.
Maybe 15,000.
I like $1 million. How much is your eyesight shortfall? How much is it hurting your business?
I've never thought about it.
Is it possible you're losing a client a month? Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. If we lost a client a month, what would that be worth financially? One client.
$5,000 maybe a month.
Okay, so we just took this thing up to 60 grand in a year. 5,000 times 12 is 60 grand. So if we just say, let's get off $1 million. So it's going to be 10 grand to do the procedure. A lot of money. But what do you get the bill for not doing it? 60 grand. What do you think we should do?
Fix the eyesight.
Yeah. And we don't know what other manifestations occur because of this.
Yeah.
So who knows? Let me ask you a question. Is it possible that the eyesight shortfall could take your life?
It could. Yeah.
An accident,
Yeah.
fall down the steps, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about death.
Yeah. Let's say I didn't see the car that was in my blind spot.
Okay, I don't want you to answer this question. I just want you to think the answer. What do you make per year in your business? Do you have that number in your head? Multiply it times 10. You have that number in your head?
Yep.
Do you think we should do this procedure? Because that number I just gave you is what it would cost you. Your life ended 10 years too soon.
Yeah.
Why are you messing around with this, man? Let's get it done. I'm the best. Check me out. I have a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Yeah.
I'd like to get you scheduled because I'm very busy.
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Come on.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
You need this. I looked at you. I looked at the scans. I looked at the images. You need this, Derek.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Let's do it.
You ran into a buzzsaw, brother.
It's true. It's true.
Find out what the customer wants. Find out what their reasons why are. And let's get them emotional, okay? And then let's show them how we can fix what they want and the reasons why. How we can fix this with whatever it is that we're selling.
Yeah.
And whether I'm an attorney, even let's say I'm a janitor. I'm a janitor. Is
I'm
that
interested in this one. Go ahead.
Is that a sales job?
Man, I typically wouldn't say it was, but go ahead.
I'm a janitor and I want to make more money. So how do I make more money?
Simply add more value to the hour. We talk about that a lot.
Okay, bring more value to the hour. That's selling. Because when I bring more value to the hour, I am going to get noticed.
Yes.
I'm going to get noticed by the people that I work for and work with, And I might even get noticed by somebody outside the business.
Right.
Who says, look at this guy. I've never seen a guy like this. They're getting sold on my actions. They're getting sold on how clean the place is. They're getting sold on my attitude. Okay. So if I want to advance,
Right.
I better learn how to sell Jim Shorkey. And I do that by my actions, bringing more value to the hour. So they're
So
paying
in some
me
ways, everybody's selling themselves on something.
everybody. And so when I bring more value to the hour, and I do, and I start to get noticed, but the pay hasn't gone up yet. And so I go to my superior and I say, I'd like to have a raise. You're paying me $15 an hour. I feel like I'm worth $20 an hour based on the value I bring to the business. And they say, we don't think you're worth that. Here's all the things I do. And they say, we still don't think you're worth that. What do you think I am worth? I think you're worth a raise. I agree. How about $18 an hour? Sold. I just made $3 more per hour.
Yep.
So I have to sell myself. We're always selling. The preacher is selling the audience on his or her message. The lawyer is selling his clients on what he can do for them. Again, like that's a lot of money to prosecute this situation. Where do you get the bill for having a terrible attorney?
Yeah.
What do you get the bill for if you're going to settle for X and somebody messes it up and it's 10% of X? You just lost all that money.
Yeah.
But look at my record. I can prove it.
Yeah.
I've said to you many times when we're talking, is Google Jim Shorkey Family Honor Group. If you think I don't have credibility, then I can't sell you. I can't sell from an empty glass. But as soon as I convince you on the credibility of Jim Shorkey, then we go to work.
Yeah.
I do something that's very interesting. I told you I park far away from the store, right? And I walk. And
Same
when I'm
thing.
walking, what am I doing? You'll never guess.
I have no idea.
What do you think I'm doing? What would you think I'm doing while I'm walking? I'm walking through a parking lot. Hint, hint. A lot of cars.
Looking at the cars.
What do you think I do when I see a Jim Shorkey license plate frame?
You gotta, or you either approach them or you smile.
I stop and I say, hi, I'm Jim Shorkey. Thank you for your business.
I bet they're like,
They are. Thank you for your business.
Yep.
I'm so grateful. And they never believe it. They never like, no, you're not. I said, yeah, I am. I really am. I am Jim Shorkey. I'm retired. The kids own and operate the business now, but I just love seeing that name on the back of that car. I do it every single time.
Yeah.
I drive my wife crazy because it's
Jim, we gotta go.
It takes 2 minutes to get to the store, and I'm like 12 minutes later, I'm still saying, "Hey, how you doing?" And then if I do one, I see another. Oh, I got to do that one too because I feel like they see me.
Yeah.
I feel guilty. So, yeah, I think it's important. It's value. It's value added.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guarantee you that they go home and
They're like, I met Jim
they say I
Shorkey
met
today.
Jim Shorkey today.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. No, I really did.
Yeah.
We were parked at Giant Eagle, and he walked by, saw the plate in the back of the car, and he stopped and actually tapped on my window. I thought he was some kind of a goofball. And I put the window down, and he said, I just wanted to thank you for your business. I'm Jim Shorkey. And they are just tickled.
Yeah.
That's selling, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm not selling. I'm grocery shopping.
Right.
That's selling.
Yeah. So there's almost this piece of you're selling yourself and your authority, like what you know in the industry, your expertise, and you're connecting with the person.
Oh,
that's
man.
what I've heard you say today, and that's what's powerful.
And guess what? As I studied my malady, which is stroke recovery, one of the very important things that I need to do that's really important, it's way up there.
Yeah.
One of them is exercise. 2 is lifelong learning. 3, socializing. So guess what? When I stop and say, hi, how you doing? Do you mind if I shake your hand? Thank you so much for your business. That's socializing.
Yeah.
And my brain, if I was on a brain
Yeah.
image, what's that called? The brain imaging,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
MRI. Yeah.
An MRI, yeah, MRI, functional MRI. My brain would look like a fireworks show.
Yep.
It's just going off. Dope, all kinds of good things are happening.
Yeah.
That is a fact. It's not medical advice, guys, again, but that is a fact.
Wow.
And you talk to any neurologist, they would say, he's right. So what happens with stroke victims is they tend to isolate because they're embarrassed that they can't walk right. They're embarrassed they can't talk right or think right or that they don't remember right. So they're embarrassed. They tend to isolate. The worst thing you can do, apparently, as a stroke recovery victim,
That makes sense.
is to isolate versus getting out there and meeting people. And as I've already said, getting out in nature. If you're like exercise is really important when you're recovering from a stroke, but adding to it, exercise outside. Yeah, you can do the treadmill today. It's raining, but
Yeah.
you've been wet before. You've run in the rain before. What do you do? Just stop and crawl in a hole? You got to get home, right?
Yep.
It's like you always dry off. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. Jim, thank you so much. And guys, if you've enjoyed this content, leave us a subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on one of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. I hope that you learned today the value of just sales in all aspects of your life.
Yep.
I wanted to title this Why Everyone or You Should Learn Sales. And I just think I've seen that experience in my life and how it's morphed me and changed me. And I know you have too. So Jim, thanks for your insights and your expertise.